What's up, team? It's Coach Palmer with Marathon Sports, and I'm here with Bay State running today representing Hoka, and it is time to fly. We're going to do a quick little recap of what happened today at Fort Devens. Now, let me go ahead and just kind of pop up a screen share just for some of you that haven't been to the meet or weren't at the meet today. You guys can go ahead and kind of take a look here at our race results. They are now available on kicktothefinish.com. Derek Ellis, our Massachusetts track and field official timer this season, is in charge of running this website here. You can go ahead and find those results and most of those other MSTCA events that have had live results listed on this website. Just simply click on the results tab, and then you can kind of see all the other events that he works for us and what's on tap and what's upcoming here. So we'll click on the results here. Let's go ahead and work it right on down through. I'd really like to note that there was a couple of great performers that were out there today. It was really good to watch a couple of these schools really show out, and you see some of that strength happen in some of these shorter distance races, or these off distance races, so to say, right? So we did have the Fort Devens Challenge happen today, which is kind of ridiculous to think about this new kind of format of a meet. But one of the things that I noticed about this was that people actually kind of like spread it out a little bit, which was pretty interesting to kind of watch develop, with a cross-country team, because it's a little bit different, right? So you were allowed to kind of place your runners, your 7 runners, in whatever races possible. So there was 3 runners from each team representing in the 3K, 2 runners in the 4K, and then 2 runners in the 5K, making up your 7 that score. We accumulate those times, and then we give those awards. Out of the first race, a 3K, obviously pretty quick, pretty, I'd say, kind of close to like what your 2-mile time would be or look like in the sport of track and field. But Caleb Strayer today from Acton Boxborough, the senior, he took it down today with a 10:41 on tap with a 5:44 average per mile. I'll tell you what, I interviewed Caleb earlier, and we got that up on Bay State Running Instagram. We'll also have that on the YouTube there soon. Caleb's a nice young man. He works hard. He also wears Hoka, so shout out to Caleb, yo. It's still time to fly, baby. And clearly the training that he's done has definitely proven point with him. Finishing 8 seconds out ahead of the 2 freshmen here that were running in a tandem here from Wayland here. That's Owen Williams and Luke Chisholm. Big shout out to the freshmen for holding it down there. That's actually a pretty impressive time, I'd say, for a freshman there. Anything sub 11 in a 3K is definitely something that's noteworthy. But then again, just kind of like noting that everybody in this race was, kind of running like those off distance kind of event, right? Where we don't compete like this in track and field, number one, because you're always on a track. But in cross country, we never run like those off distance events and then kind of accumulate the scores. I'm more or less impressed at the fact that, with the course kind of having a very spectator-friendly kind of approach or visual on most of the race, to really kind of watch, how this spacing kind of goes throughout. So, those top 20 athletes, shout out to you guys, but straight up, looking at the times here, man, you guys were really putting it in out there. This isn't just like a regular 2-mile time here. This is something that's called cross country. It's on grass. There's hills. There's all types of turns and twists. There's wood sections. You're running over all the varied surfaces here, and you guys make it look easy. So big shout out to you over there, Caleb, for holding it down there that 3K early on in the day. Let's go ahead and take a look at what was happening in that girls 3K here. Oh, that's right. Nev Flynn. Oh man, BPS. Austin. Public School. They going in as citywide cross country. They're out there in those awesome track Smith singlets. You guys looking great out there. Nev made it look so easy today. Look at this time differential here. I mean, she's working 12:58 out of an 8th grader. I have to note that. She's in 8th grade. I interviewed Nev and we talked. She is a stellar athlete in other sports as well. So she loves balling out in soccer, and then she's also pretty fit year round because she's a swimmer. So really impressive performance from the 8th grader. 12:58, just sub 13. And then you can see that the senior here from Groton Dunstable, Mary Teeple, she put her work in there with a 13:54. Groton Dunstable girls, you guys look incredible out there as well. Very noteworthy here to see that this was kind of like a dual meet race, kind of the style between BPS here and Groton Dunstable up in front here. It's really spectacular to kind of watch these kind of races happen early on in the season here. Really kind of like spikes the interest for those upcoming events that we have for MSTCA, like the Twilight next weekend, and then also coming up with like all of the coaches invite, kind of like spinning through the rest of the month here. Like we're going through with Dick Atkinson invite, which is going to be a nice, quick, fast course up at Stanley Park up in Westfield. Everybody knows Stanley Park for being fast, flat, and like really kind of like on the open end of challenging, where you're really kind of like seeing what kind of wheels you got to kind of like work with, or what kind of speed you really have to open up with over the course of a 5K. So kind of looking at like these 3K events here, I'm really like looking forward to seeing like some of these names here that coming across on the 5K time, because I think that these are like incredible times that these kids are able to put together on a course that's like, I wouldn't want to say it's an easy course. It's definitely challenging. You've got a couple of laps to spin out there, long visual stretches too. So like that can definitely like kind of like play into the poise of an athlete and really be more challenging, I guess, too, on like the head side of things. Once again, though, the top 20 athletes over here, all breaking down under 6:30 there. Actually, where is that 6:30 line in this one? Right around athlete 24, 25 there. So that's impressive. Ladies, keep up the good work. Really proud to see that kind of like work put out there. I mean, Bromfield, you can see that you guys got yourself a pretty good pack that's out there working. You also see the Groton Dunstable girls that are out there throwing it down, and then those citywide girls out there. Nev, keep it up. You're in 8th grade. I can't wait to see what else you're capable of in the next couple of years. Let's go on to the boys 4K. Let's see, where is that? Daniel Narvaez from Wayland. I got a chance to speak with him as well today. I mean, really kind of cool kid, straight down to it. He put on, that he was like, kind of going out there. He also had to kind of go out there and take the lead, which gave him that 8-second buffer there. On the second lap, he made a nice move. He put on a good gap. It was about 10, 20 yards. And then it had kind of like opened up there about 30, 40 meters there. And that's that finishing time, 14:32. Shout out to Daniel on that one. Brockton, though, I tell you, these kids can run. These kids are serious. I talked to Coach F over there at Brockton. Big shout out to you, Coach. You're very proud working with these kids. And I think that the resilience that you have in your coaching definitely shines with how your team performs out there. These kids are gritty, and I love it. This is like everything that cross country is or isn't at your school, right? So if you've got some gritty athletes that are really focused and really trying to do something together and working hard and challenging each other, then you're definitely going to go out there and crush just the way that Brockton does. Everybody over here in this race here, it looks like our 15-minute cutoff was the top 5 guys. 16-minute cutoff, let's see where that is at, 13 minutes. I mean, our top 25 is right around that 17-17 section there. So that means that we have a bunch of guys that are in this race that are like mid-17s, maybe low 18s. Very competitive race. And then you can see the age spread that are on these kids. The sophomore from Wayland out here in front. You got a junior, you got a couple of freshmen, then followed by a senior. Very young, talented athletes that are in this event here. That 4K today was very exciting to watch. That was when everything kind of like picked up a little bit too, I think, you started hearing the crowd kind of like, get behind the runners a little bit more here too. 45 kids in that event there, everybody cleared the line just under 22 minutes. So big shout out to all you guys. Keep working. You guys are definitely pulling some weight on your team. It's kind of exciting to see where we're all at here and just kind of like know where you're at now, but like know where you're going to be over the next few weeks. Fellas, keep it up with those 4K pack. Ladies 4K here. I think I just clicked on it here. Georgia Brooks here from Groton Dunstable, followed by her teammate Catherine Daly. That interview is posted on Bay State Running. These girls, sophomores, been friends since kindergarten. I don't know how long they've been running together. I think they mentioned 6th grade, but these two being teammates and training buddies and training partners, like this is just the beginning for these two. They just kind of tipped the iceberg now, and it's going to be exciting to see what they're able to contribute to that Groton Dunstable team in the future weeks. Bromfield, they had a great showing. Bedford, look at this. I mean, it's 2-2-2. North Quincy and Quincy in there. I'm sorry, I got corrected on that too today. Big MSTCA shout out to Lou Tozzi. Told me it wasn't Quincy. Don't pronounce it like you're from Western Mass. Put a Z in there. Quincy. So North Quincy, big shout out. You guys got yourselves in there too. Like, look at this. This is just like a dual meet, kind of two at a time. Great running buddies in this one here. Good thing that you guys all had a partner out there. Like, this is incredible. Like, I don't know. I don't think I remember watching the race and thinking like, oh wow, these guys are all running, or all these ladies are running together here like this. But this is kind of impressive to look at. Only 20 ladies in this one here, but we all cleared the line in under 23 minutes. This was a kind of exciting event too as well, because there was a lot of kids that were kind of like rushing back and forth across the meet. And then of course you can see that this is a kind of like a tighter little pack here too that was working through. Big shout out to those 4K girls. Nice work out there today, especially those GD girls over there from Groton Dunstable. Let's see. We're on to the boys 5K. Andrew Richardson from Acton Boxborough. I don't really know what's going on over at Acton Boxborough, but I know that they got something fierce cooking for whoever's in your league, whoever's in your division. You guys got to watch out for Acton Boxborough, both on the boys side and on the girls side. All right, they're serious. AB today, senior Andrew Richardson threw it down with a 17 flat 5K out there. Like I said, wasn't really the fastest course, wasn't really the fastest day to run, but again, impressive time to put together out there. He went unchallenged out there. 17:16 was his next competitor. It looks like everybody was under a 17:30 from 5 or less on that one. But real big, was his teammates here. Will Lee, Will Lou, and Aiden Barnett, And then look at this one, Jeffrey Lee going right in there. So Acton Boxborough put 1, 2, 3, 4. They put 5 in the top 56 and the top 15 in the 5K. So how do you beat this team? Like really, coaches, I want to know. Athletes, how do you beat these teams? You put more guys in front of them. Can you do that? Where's their split? Can you fit people in there? I don't know. Listen, this is a tough team to beat. It's going to be really exciting to see what AB has in store for the rest of you in Mass going into like the next couple of weeks. I mean, I'm really big on AB after watching them perform today. Yeah, it was a small meet, but you know what? These kids are fierce. There's something in the water at AB. They had youngsters doing it. They had the old timers out there doing it. Big shout out to those seniors. And then, it's just exciting to kind of see that kind of charisma coming from a program where both sides are on fire. I like it. Out of that guys race here, we had just under 70 competitors. Everybody's clearing the line at under 26. It looks like our 18-minute cutoff was just outside of the 8th place there. So, a lot of guys here, just kind of like running the course for the first time. It'll be interesting to see what they're able to put down when we're in Rentham, or when it's time for us to like really start throwing down these races here, other courses as well. Like, so if you guys get out there to that Stanley Park race, I imagine that these times are going to be, about 40 seconds, 40 to 50 seconds faster. Twilight, those times are going to be like about a minute faster. Everybody knows how everybody runs at Twilight. Like, you just run blackout. I think most kids are just like unconscious when they're running at Twilight because they're just so excited about all the energy that's out there. And then all the, when the lights are out, you run a little bit quicker too, right? So everybody just moves a little bit faster at night. Looking at the girls' 5K results, Elizabeth Latham from Acton Boxborough with her teammate Catherine Callahan. We see this double back from the 4K from the Groton Dunstable girls. Now we're in the 5K with the Acton Boxborough girls. Elizabeth went out there. She ran a 20:11. I'd say that, that looked a little bit more like kind of easy for her. Like she was kind of like, maybe toward the end and a little bit of a, gave us a little bit of a grimace, but like she really looked like that was kind of a casual run for her. Again, like this course wasn't the fastest. It wasn't certainly like the slowest, but it's all on longer grass. So that could definitely attribute to some of these times being a little bit slower. But I do think that these Acton Boxborough girls are something to look at too. They have 3 in the top 10, and then they have 5 in the top 15. So very similar on the boys' side. This is a tough team to beat. You really have to put a couple people in between. North Quincy, you guys put in a couple in there as well. So you guys were able to podium, pretty well as well, and pull down some rewards too. But on the real, like AB, you guys keep it going. You guys keep it serious. Rotten Dunstable in this one here with Kimmy Harding, they were able to secure the team win by having a high place there as well. And then you've got a couple that are trickling in the top 20 as well from Groton Dunstable. So that was huge. We've seen Bedford's name out there a few times out there today. But these are like the dominant programs that were at the meet today that definitely, had good showings. Only 25 athletes in the 5K for the girls today. Everybody cleared the line just at or over 27 minutes. We'll look at the guys' open race real quick. Griffin Kaplan from Tri-County throws down a 16:07. Now, this was also a 4K course, so a little bit short, but at the same time, this man was running. He didn't have too much, competition there until a little bit later in the race, where Patrick Lee was able to kind of like pull up a little bit closer, and they were both able to enter the chute around the same time when they hit the Hoka home stretch. His teammate Andrew Caulfield from Tri-County was very close, but at the same time, in the one picture that I have at the finish line, I'm thinking about the 2 guys that were up front. But Andrew Caulfield, you hit the chute and you were all by yourself. Shane Faraday, you too. You guys are crushing. You guys fell off just a little bit, but I think that's more than fine, especially in a 4K race when you're really pushing the envelope and see how much speed you guys have. I mean, moving at around a 6:30 pace is a little bit challenging for some of you guys out there, especially on that kind of course where it's a little bit windy. There's a couple of hills involved, and of course, like the competition's kind of scattered through the field here. It looks like we've got 35 guys that competed in that field. Everybody clearing the line around 25:20. Pretty good to kind of like see. But one of the coolest things about this event was that it was also run with an open girls 4K. So that's these race results right down here below, with Casey Collins from Burlington was able to hold down a 17:02. So she was actually, I believe that was about the 7th place runner in the event overall. Casey held her ground the whole way. I was able to kind of like see her when she ran by, and then she, there was a little bit of a gap around her. You can see where that 17:02 kind of fell in there. Only a few seconds here behind Trevor Mangino from North Quincy, but still kind of like a good float zone here between, the 7th guy there as well. So, big shout out to Casey Collins there for holding her own, and then definitely chomping at the bit there. Showing that you're competitive, but also getting out there and then really dropping like a serious 4K time. Like, that's great. You keep it up. We're going to be looking at these Burlington girls in the next couple of weeks here, and we'll see some good challenging times and efforts from these girls. Really notable today because they were kind of like, a little bit more packed out here. You can kind of see they had 2 on the breakaway up front finishing for Burlington, and then they had 2 that were running right inside the top 10. So 4, they placed 5 in the top 15 in the girls open 4K. We had 29 that were competing in that one. So 27:19 was the finishing time there, and all those are the events. So out of the 70 athletes that we had there, about 64 athletes that we had in the first open 4K ever competed in Massachusetts. This was an impressive race to watch. It was kind of cool. Like, it looks more like your, I guess you could say, what a community 5K would look like. It was great. Great energy today by everybody. I was really happy, really kind of excited to kind of see how everybody was shaping up out there. You guys have all been competing. It was a real good change of pace to get away from Rentham for a bit. And I just want to make sure that everybody knows that you guys can find all the great race coverage right over here at your Bay State Running news source. You can sign up for free. All you got to do is hit that little login button and then create yourself an account. It's absolutely free. Coaches, I don't know why you wouldn't have access to this. Athletes, you need to have access to this. By signing up, you're going to get all those notifications. You can kind of float around and then check out all the new articles that we post. And then you can kind of keep yourself updated. One thing that's great about PSR is that we operate completely for free. So anything that you're able to contribute by clicking on the Shop Now button helps us further your news, or kind of help spotlight your athletes on our website here, and then also on our various platforms. So you can catch us on Twitter at Bay State Run. You can also catch us on Instagram at Bay State Run, and we're on Facebook. So there's plenty of places that you guys can catch up with us. Don't forget that we do live streaming once in a while, and we do have all your post-race media, or all of the post-race events here that we do for all of our events. All of our cross-country events are now being posted right up here on our YouTube channel. That's baystaterunning.com. You'll find us on the YouTube. You can click on any of these and recap or watch any of the race interviews and see any of those highlights of the races themselves. It's actually great. The big thing is that we don't have the capability of really hitting one of those A+ performance live streams that we are used to seeing when we're working at Reggie Lewis, because we don't have the Wi-Fi capabilities to really make sure that our stream can have the coverage that we need outdoors with up to having 4,000 or 5,000 people around operating off of the same cell signals. So until we can find ourselves into a better position where we can actually, have hardwired Wi-Fi at some of these parks, then I think we're going to be a little bit at a disadvantage. But within the day, you'll see your edited race footage, and you'll be able to watch yourself finish across the finish line and run those favorite parts of the course all over again at our YouTube channel here. Folks, just also a real quick shout out here to our sponsors at Marathon Sports for keeping our life in motion and also giving us the nice Hoka fit. Everybody, I encourage you to go ahead and get this shoe. This is one of my favorite ones right now. And, the flashier the colors, the faster you run. The Hoka Rincon is out. It's a brand new shoe out by Hoka. It is fast. It is one of the lightest shoes that's on the market, and you can see the price point is only at $115. If you don't like this color, guess what? There's another color available for you guys. Ladies, it's a hot flash purple with a nice little green teal midsole. I encourage everybody to go ahead and shop over at Marathon Sports or stop in at your local location and make sure that you ask for your student athlete discount. Coaches, athletes, thank you for sticking around and listening to me ramble on a little bit more about cross country when you could certainly be doing something else. But until next weekend, when we're back at the Twilight Meet, I'll be catching you guys on the social media platform on Bay State Run. We'll be having some more previews out for that event, and then also follow up with some of the coaches' polls that are coming out. Catch you guys all soon.